In today's world of fast-moving careers, corporate politics, and Instagram-style personal branding, it's easy to wonder, is that leader really authentic, or just good at playing the game? Authentic leadership theory aims to answer this question by exploring whether leadership is genuinely rooted in values and integrity, or merely a skillful performance by those eyeing the top. Rooted in the question of what makes leadership real, the authentic leadership theory has grown increasingly relevant in an era marked by widespread distrust in institutions, leaders, and organizations. This theory centers on the idea that authentic leaders are self-aware, morally grounded, transparent in their relationships, and able to process information with objectivity. But more than just a theoretical framework, authentic leadership invites students, professionals, and aspiring leaders to turn inward and reflect. Am I being real in how I lead? And just as importantly, are my role models truly authentic, or just effective? The theoretical roots of authentic leadership. The authentic leadership theory has its modern foundations in the work of leadership scholars and practitioners like Bill George, who popularized the concept in his book True North, where he emphasized the 5 central characteristics of authentic leaders. Purpose, a deep sense of direction and passion for what they do. Values, a clear moral compass and commitment to the right thing. Relationships, an ability to build strong, trusting, and transparent connections. Self-discipline, consistent behavior aligned with values, even under stress. Heart, compassion and empathy, particularly when dealing with others' challenges. These dimensions link to behavioral traits: passion, behavior, connectedness, consistency, and compassion, all of which help leaders stay anchored in who they are and avoid being swept away by power, fame, or organizational pressure. But authentic leadership isn't just about behaving well. It's about being grounded in who you really are. This contrasts sharply with manipulative or egocentric leaders who may display charisma or strategic skill, but ultimately serve their own ambitions. 4 core components of authentic leadership. Another researchers like Northouse and Wallumbwa synthesize the theory into 4 key components, which can be thought of as the inner workings of authentic leadership. 1. Self-awareness. This is the cornerstone. Leaders must understand their strengths, weaknesses, motivations, and the impact they have on others. Self-aware leaders engage in deep reflection and feedback-seeking, striving to lead from a place of honest self-understanding rather than ego or denial. Example: a CEO who regularly requests anonymous feedback from their team, reflects on it, and changes their behavior accordingly, shows authentic self-awareness. 2. Internalized moral perspective. This refers to a leader's moral compass, guided by internal values rather than external pressures. Authentic leaders do not change their ethical stance based on popularity or expediency. Example: when Patagonia's leadership decided to donate $10 million in tax savings to environmental causes, they demonstrated an internalized moral perspective that aligned with their core values, regardless of potential backlash. 3. Balanced processing. Authentic leaders consider multiple perspectives before making decisions. They are not defensive when confronted with opposing views, but seek to understand the full picture. Example: a manager who actively invites dissenting opinions during strategy meetings and seriously considers them, even when they contradict their own view, displays balanced processing. 4. Relational transparency. Leaders must be open and honest in presenting their true selves. This doesn't mean oversharing or being unfiltered, but it does involve showing vulnerability and being real with followers. Example: a senior leader who shares a personal story about failure during a town hall meeting, while connecting it to a team learning moment, demonstrates relational transparency. What shapes authentic leadership? Authentic leadership doesn't just appear overnight. According to Northouse and Wallumbwa, it's shaped by 3 key factors. 1. Positive psychological capacities. Resilience, confidence, optimism, and hope help leaders maintain authenticity during challenges. These capacities allow leaders to bounce back and stay true to themselves, even under fire. 2. Moral reasoning. The ability to make ethical decisions and prioritize the greater good is fundamental. Without strong moral reasoning, a leader's authenticity could simply serve selfish or misguided purposes. 3. Critical life events. Often, authenticity is forged in the fire of adversity. Personal losses, professional setbacks, or transformative moments can act as catalysts or wake-up calls, prompting leaders to reevaluate what matters and return to their true north. Example: Oprah Winfrey's early life struggles shaped her deep empathy and values, which became central to her leadership style as a media mogul and philanthropist. Authentic leadership in the business world. So how does authentic leadership actually play out in business? Take Patagonia, the outdoor clothing company known not just for its high-quality products, but for its unwavering commitment to environmental activism. Under the leadership of Yvon Chouinard, the company has consistently prioritized values over profits. In 2022, Chouinard made headlines by transferring ownership of Patagonia to a trust and nonprofit organization, ensuring that all future profits, estimated at $100 million annually, would be used to fight climate change and protect undeveloped land. These decisions weren't made to impress shareholders or enhance brand image. They were deeply rooted in Chouinard's lifelong beliefs and personal values about nature, sustainability, and ethical capitalism. After all, before launching Patagonia, he was a rock climber and alpinist, and that's how he originated inspiration and ideas for his clothing and gearing company. His actions exemplify internalized moral perspective, self-awareness, and relational transparency, all key components of authentic leadership. In an age when greenwashing and performative ethics are common, Patagonia shows what it means to lead authentically, aligning business strategy with personal and organizational values, even when the financial stakes are high. In environments like corporate boardrooms, often dominated by ambition, competition, and image management, authentic leaders stand out not just for what they achieve, but how they do it. Their consistency and integrity build long-term trust with employees, investors, and customers. Why study authentic leadership? For students, young professionals, or anyone evaluating leadership, whether in themselves or others, the authentic leadership theory raises important questions. Do I, or my role models, act from a place of deep-seated values, or just ambition? How transparent am I with others about my mistakes, fears, or learning moments? Do I lead with empathy and openness, or defensiveness and control? When pressure mounts, do I compromise values, or stay aligned with my true north? These questions are particularly powerful in self-analysis, or when evaluating mentors and executives. They challenge us to go beyond surface-level assessments, charisma, power, success, and look for deeper indicators of integrity, emotional intelligence, and purpose. Strengths and weaknesses of the theory. Pros. Moral grounding. It emphasizes ethics and values, which are increasingly important in today's society. Practical reflection tool. Helps leaders and aspiring leaders reflect on who they are and how they can grow. Encourages transparency and trust. Promotes open, honest relationships within organizations. Cons. Difficult to measure. Concepts like authenticity and true north can be subjective and hard to quantify. Culturally biased. What's considered authentic can vary across cultures. Idealistic? In high-stakes business contexts, consistently acting with full transparency and moral integrity may be difficult to sustain without trade-offs. Final thoughts. Authentic leadership isn't a quick fix or a checklist. It's a continuous journey of self-awareness, values-driven decision-making, and courage in the face of external pressures. In a world increasingly skeptical of leadership, authentic leaders don't just perform well, they inspire trust and leave a lasting impact. For anyone studying leadership or evaluating role models, the key question is, are they, and am I, leading from the inside out?